Hey guys, I hope everyone's day is going well. Today we've got some yo-yo string to review. So a little while back I did a massive review on Kitty String's new string that they have created. In that video I talked about all these different types of string that are new to Kitty String and how they kind of rebranded their design and their string formula. But there was one thing I didn't include in that video, and that was a review on some signature yo-yo player strings. So for those of you that don't know, Kitty String has partnered with a couple really incredible yo-yo players and made some signature strings for them. So today I'm going to be taking a look at the Polo Gargamel signature string, the Owen Eekland signature string, and the Shinji Saito signature string. So essentially in this video I'm just going to play with the string a little bit, give my first impressions, and let you guys know what I think about each one of these three signature strings that Kitty String has made. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now real quick, I do have to thank Kitty String for making this entire video possible and for sending me these strings. It was super generous of them to provide me with the tools that I need, so I really appreciate that. So since we're on the topic of talking about Kitty String, if any of you guys are interested in purchasing some yo-yo string from Kitty String Yo-Yo, be sure to click the very first link in the description down below and also use code JonathanThies for a ton of money off your order. Again, that's code JonathanThies to get a ton of money off your purchase. And by the way guys, for this review, I'll be using the Yo-Yo Factory Element. If you guys are interested in picking this awesome yo-yo up or any other yo-yo, click the link in the description. Alright, so first up, I want to check out the Polo Gargamel signature string. So a quick thing you should know about this string. The string tension of this one is actually a little bit stiffer than the normal Kitty string, and that's to kind of help Polo do some of his special slack tricks and achieve really great movement with the string. And the thickness of this string is almost the same as the XL size that you guys are familiar with Kitty string. Let's test it out. Okay, so first impressions, this is definitely a more rough string. It's definitely coarser, I see, but it also has added whippiness, which you can kind of expect. The texture of the string, the way it actually feels, is definitely on the rougher side. That's something to know. If you are anticipating a soft feeling string, this is not gonna be it. But, yeah, the whips feel a lot faster than your normal Kitty string because of the kind of added coarseness and tightly wound string. But so far I'm really enjoying it. The slack likes to fly a lot faster than I'm used to, so like when I'm doing kind of like, you know, a slack trick, it feels like the slack is moving around a little faster than what I'm anticipating. But I'm sure that for Polo, this is a great option for him because it helps him do all the different kinds of like cool slack tricks that he does. So, but yeah, this definitely is a rougher string. That's something to know right off the bat. I feel like this string also is going to have a good amount of durability and a good amount of life to it. So I can kind of predict that with a string like this, it won't kind of lose its tension very quickly. Since it's so tightly wound, I feel like this string is going to really stay around and stay in good shape for a long time. Obviously I'm only using it for a couple minutes right here, but just I'm guessing that the string is going to have a really nice lifetime, and so as a result you won't need to replace your string all the time. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this. I feel like if you use gloves and you were used to using gloves, this could be a really good option because you wouldn't really feel the roughness and coarseness of it on your hands, but you get the added whippy benefits and the durability of it. But as I'm breaking the string in a little bit more, it's getting a little bit less and less coarse, which is nice. So I feel like if you really put some time and effort into breaking the string in, you know, it'd feel a little bit better. I almost would relate this string to Blueprint string. If you guys remember that string from Word back in the day, definitely not as extreme as that string. That string was like very, very coarse and very thick and a little snaggy, but this one is nice. It really plays, it hits the response system of my yo-yo in a nice way. It kind of has that XL feel to it, but it's still a nice string. Yeah, I really like this so far. It plays with the yo-yo very nicely, and I feel like if you're looking for kind of a strong and powerful string that's gonna whip around really fast and have a lot of coarseness to it, this is a great option. Let's see how it holds its tension. Very nice. Okay, so yeah, in general I like this string a lot. It's coarse, it's rough, but it's got a lot of whippiness to it, so if that's what you're looking for, it's definitely the good one. Now let's try out the Shinji Saito signature string. So one quick thing to note about this string is you'll notice that it kind of has this gold cream color. According to Kitty String, they adopted the cream color that Shinji Saito has used for many, many years, but they also emphasized the gold because Shinji Saito has won the 2A World Championship so many times. So it's kind of a mix of the two, having the cream color that he normally uses and the gold, since he has won the 2A World Yo-Yo Championship for so many years in a row. Alright, so now we've got the Shinji Saito signature string. Now one thing to note is that this string is actually quite a bit shorter than the other strings that Kitty String normally produces. And when I mean shorter, I mean like out of the bag, it has a shorter length. And so with this string, I only cut off maybe like half an inch of string to get to the desired length that I personally play with. And that's done intentionally because Shinji Saito definitely plays with shorter string when he does 2A. And so as a result, he can just take these strings out of the bag without having to cut the string in the first place. And so if you definitely play with like longer string, I would not recommend this one because you won't get the length that you desire. I'll actually put the exact centimeters of the string right there so you guys can see exactly how many centimeters are going to come out of the bag. But this is definitely a short string. Like, you will not be able to play long string if you purchase this. However, for me, I generally play with a little bit shorter string, so this is just fine. I only really had to cut off maybe about half an inch or an inch in relation to the normal kitty string, which I have to cut off, I don't know, however many inches, 2 or 3 or 4. But so far, I've really been liking the feel of it. It definitely feels like a thinner string, which I guess makes sense for 2A play, because with 2A, you definitely don't want like a super thick string that could kind of snag the yo-yo or make some jumbles or anything like that. But I also do know that this string has a really nice kind of tension to it. It's got a nice amount of whippiness, which is great, but it's not too thick. So this is very interesting. They've struck a very nice balance with kind of a coarser, I guess, kind of string that isn't very thick, but holds its tension quite well and has a great amount of whippiness. As you guys can see, like, the string is coming around a little bit faster than I would anticipate with a string like this. And so in general, this is really, really nice. I can definitely see why this would be a really great string for Shinji. Since he plays 2A all the time, he doesn't need those long strings to cut out of the box. And so with, you know, just getting the string from kitty string, he doesn't even have to cut the string. He can just tie it up, put it on his finger, and start going, which is awesome. And yeah, this just feels like a great string. It's a little bit on the coarse side. It's not the softest string in the world, but it definitely holds its tension really well and has a lot of longevity to it, I can already tell. It whips around quite fast, so for, you know, any of your slack tricks like that, it's gonna whip around a little bit faster than you'd anticipate. All right, and finally, I'm gonna try out Owen Eekland's signature string. So here's a really interesting thing about Owen's signature string. According to Kitty String, what they worked on doing was achieving a string that would be great for both 1A and 5A, since Owen specializes in both styles of yo-yo. So they kind of have this really interesting string thickness that is between the normal size and the fat size of the classic Kitty string. So basically, it's just kind of in between those two different sizes that we are very familiar with. It's right in between normal and fat. Okay, so here we are with the Owen Eekland signature string. Let's give this a try. So right off the bat, I mean, as you'd expect, this is definitely thinner and softer than the kind of extreme Polo Gargamel signature string, because that one was definitely more on the rough, coarse, tightly wound side. This is a little bit more on the soft side. I know that the thickness of this string is kind of in between normal and fat kitty string, and I can tell that in here. I mean, I personally use kitty string fat mostly, and I guess that this string does feel a little bit thinner than that, but definitely it's not normal kitty string, that's for sure. And so I bet you that when it came time for Owen Eekland to design the string, he probably felt that kitty fat was a little bit too thick for some of his tricks, especially with 5A, and maybe kitty normal wasn't thick enough for other tricks. So he kind of found the perfect balance between kitty string normal and kitty string fat when he wants to do 5A tricks or 1A tricks. He doesn't have to change the string depending on what style of yo-yo he wants to play. But overall, I'm liking this a lot. It feels really nice. I think that this really is the perfect string for people who want something in between fat and normal, because it's exactly like that. There's really no better way to describe it. It's just in between those two thicknesses, but I like this a lot. And even though the string is not as thick as kitty fat, it still works really well with my yo-yo's response system. So I'm not finding like any slippy binds or anything like that. Overall, it's been catching every single time for all these different binds. And the binds themselves are really tight, but they're not snaggy. They're not to the point where I'd be worried about doing a regen or something like that. And I think that with breaking these in a little bit more, they would be even softer than they already are. So if any of you guys are kind of like a little bit worried about it being too rough, definitely with some breaking in, these strings are going to feel really nice. But the string does also feel like it's got a good amount of longevity to it. It doesn't feel like it's going to be the kind of string you have to replace all the time. I think this is a really nice one. It's going to perform really well for a good long time. But yeah, overall, I'm really pleased with this one. I can see why it'd be perfect for Owen and his different styles of yo-yoing. So if you're looking for something that's in between fat and normal, this is definitely going to be the right one for you. Alright, and that's about it for my review of the 3 different signature yo-yo strings that Kitty String sent me. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Again, if you guys are interested in picking up some Kitty String, hit the very first link in my description down below, and be sure to use code JonathanThies to get some money off of your purchase. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. And also, if you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free, and you guys can always change your mind later. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.